Hello, it's Nemesis Nick here. I'm a keen fan of the Eurovision Song Contest. It's time to talk Eurovision. The German national final for the Eurovision Song Contest 2023, Unser Lied, für Liverpool, took place yesterday evening, Friday the 3rd of March 2023. I watched Unser Lied, für Liverpool live online from the UK yesterday evening. As you probably know, following the late withdrawal of Frida Gold due to illness, 8 finalist songs took part last night. I watched a preview video of each song at least 3 times each beforehand, and I made a preview video yesterday daytime. So I was already familiar with the 8 finalist songs by the time last night's show began. A link to my preview video for Unser Lied, für Liverpool is available in the description for this video. Having watched Unser Lied, für Liverpool, here are my points of view on last night's live performances of the 8 songs. Song 1, Trong, Dare to be Different. Is the Chinese-Japanese sounding introduction really necessary? That featured in last night's live performance just like in the preview video. The song itself is what I'd call a typical 1980s pop song. Compared to a preview video, I was a bit disappointed with last night's live performance. Was there any significance to splitting the screen into 3 triangles twice in the song? Surely that would have only been seen by viewers at home watching a show on TV or online. I'd have thought people in the audience wouldn't have seen that. This finished 4th in the jury vote with 52 points, 6th in the televote with 19 points, and 4th overall with 71 points. Song 2, Miller, Concrete Heart. What was the significance of the pillar in last night's performance? Renee performed the starting verses whilst crouching on the pillar, and the rest of the song while standing on the pillar. Towards the end, there was a smoke effect, either from a smoke machine or dry ice. What was the significance of that? As for the song itself, the opening lines are sung at a moderate pace, whereas the choruses are powerful. As I said in my preview video, this could be remembered for the chorus, less so for the verses. It turned out this ended up 3rd in the jury vote with 54 points, but joint 7th with just 8 points in the public vote and 7th with 62 points overall. Clearly this was favoured by the juries, not so with the public. Song 3, Anissa Russo, Once Upon a Dream. A country song. They certainly went to great lengths at staging this with the reeds or grasses, but I'm mystified as to their significance. The first 2 verses are quite slow. The way in which those were sung last night reminds me of Hooverphonics' Release Me in 2020. Took until no, this life would leave a bruise for a song to speed up and become more powerful. During last night's performance, that line was enhanced by the thunder and lightning effect and the starry effect for the rest of the powerful section. As in the preview video, the final instance of Only a Spark Can Light Up a Heart and Her Dreams Came True One by One was sung at a gentler pace to close the song. Basically, this is a song of 2 halves, a gentle part and a powerful part. This finished 2nd, albeit a rather distant 2nd, with 57 points in the jury vote. Joint 7th with just 8 points in the public vote and 6th with 65 points overall. Yes, clearly the juries liked this, but the public didn't. Song 4, Lonely Spring Misfit, a hard rock song. During yesterday evening's live performance, the chorus, including the final word of the second line, which I won't mention here, was exactly the same as in the preview video. Evidently that is allowed in Germany's national selections. had this won, the chorus would have had to have been modified to comply with Eurovision rules. I'd like to know what they were contemplating changing it to. I've been led to believe Lonely Spring already had a Eurovision friendly version ready. Anyway, last night I noticed the name Lonely Spring on the background screen. Presumably it wasn't feasible to recreate images of an American diner on that screen. There were a lot of standing figures at the front of the stage which presumably were dummies. What was the significance of those? This finished 6th with 40 points with the juries, 4th with 30 points in the televote and 5th with 70 points overall. Song 5, Will Church, Hold On, a ballad which one could liken to Arcade in 2019. Will has a good voice and he could clearly be heard during the opening verse. I particularly like the way in which he sang the pre-chorus line, and it goes over my head. And the opening line of the chorus, show me how to hold on. Those provide perfect hooks for this song. Early on the lighting was quite subtle, later the light beams enhanced the song. Altogether a pleasant bouncy ballad. There's something magical about the sound of this. At the time I thought this was the best entry so far and deserved a high placing. As it happened, this won the jury vote with 90 points. Sadly it finished 5th with just 21 points in the public vote and ended up 3rd overall with 111 points. Song 6, Patty Gurdy, Melodies of Hope. A country song, the opening verse has a good beat. The chorus is very catchy and memorable. I particularly like the way in which Patty sings My Melodies of Hope and Only the Wind Will Know in the preview video, and the way she sang that in last night's live performance. However, I think her voice could have been stronger during last night's live performance of the choruses. I was a bit... in that respect, I was a bit disappointed with her live performance of... Anyway, last night she had her musical instrument as seen in the preview video and played it or mimed it at the relevant points in the performance. The forest effect on the background screens and the smoke or dry ice vapour effect enhanced the song, but what was the significance of a fire effect near the end? Much to my surprise, this finished 7th with just 22 points in the jury vote. I'd have thought the juries would have rated this highly. And it also finished a very distant 3rd with 34 points in the public vote, and last overall with 56 points. And Song 7, Ike Hufgold, Lied mit gutem Text. This is a song that qualified for the lineup via TikTok. It's a rock song with a powerful beat. This song is mostly in German. The title means song with good lyrics. However, there was some English at the end of last night's live performance, unlike the preview video. The recorder was played about midway through the live performance, just like the preview video, but unlike the preview video, there was no pause. Although this song is not my taste in music, it was well performed and well staged, including fireworks at various points in the song, interspersed with appearances of light beams. Hardly surprising considering laser beams appeared in the preview video. During the live performance, I guess this could do well in the public vote. As it happened, this finished 2nd in the public vote with 101 points. But unsurprisingly, this finished last in the jury vote with 10 points. The resulting combined score was 111 points. When this originally received its public vote score, the song was in the lead until Lord of the Lost received their televote points. Thus, Ike Hufgold ended up 2nd overall, come finish with, which I feel was higher than this deserved. In the light of the English lyrics, which I've already analysed and explained in my preview video, it's just as well this didn't win. I don't think this song would have been appropriate for Eurovision. And then Song 8 or 9 depending on your take of things, Lord of the Lost, Blood and Glitter. The last song in the lineup already. Well, there was one less finalist song last night than originally planned. This is a hard rock, glam rock or heavy metal song, or mixture of the three. It's hardly surprising a live performance featured red light throughout, supplemented by white light beams at times. The angled flame effects enhanced this song, and the burst of fireworks was a perfect ending. I'm mystified as to the two multi-tier stages. The person on the drum kit was on the top tier of the left stage, and the person on the keyboard was on the top tier of the right stage, as the viewers saw them, I hasten to add. Although this genre is not my taste in music generally, if last night's winner had to be one of the rock songs, I wanted it to be this one. Interestingly, I noticed number 9 on the title slide when the band was introduced, and the voting suffix was still 09, so evidently this must have still been song 9 as originally planned, and there was no song 8. Unsurprisingly, this finished 5th with 43 points in the jury vote, but this won the public vote with 146 points and won overall with 189 points. Okay. Here is my ranking in My Eurovision Scoreboard based on last night's live performances. Bear with me whilst I bring it up on screen. You won't be able to see it, but I will. Right. Here is my ranking based on last night's live performances in Unser Lied, für Liverpool. 8th, Trong. 7th, Ich Gold. 6th, Lonely Spring. 5th, Lord of the Lost. 4th, Anissa Russo. 3rd, Renee Mila. 2nd, Patty Gurdy. Yes, although I was disappointed with parts of her live performance, I liked the song and I still wanted to rate it highly. If she'd given a perfect performance, a perfect live performance, I'd have put her first, but I ended up relegating her to 2nd place. Then, top of my list was Will Church. When the jury votes had all been announced, I noticed one more recap of the songs and the public voting lines were still open. Shortly after that, the public voting lines were closed. I'm concerned about the way they kept the public voting lines open that long, because once German residents had seen the final tally of the jury scores, there was still time for them to deliberately vote for the low-placed songs and unfairly change the result. It would have been fairer to have closed the public voting lines before the first jury result was revealed, just like in the Eurovision Song Contest. Analysing the voting results this afternoon has been interesting. I've noticed the 2nd to 4th place songs in the jury vote were in the 50s, and there was a 33-point difference between 1st and 2nd in the jury vote. Even more surprising is the top 2 of the public vote are over 100, but there is an enormous difference of 67 points between 2nd and 3rd in the public vote. I've noticed Ika Gold and Will Church both ended up with 111 points overall, but evidently the televote score takes precedence as Ika Gold finished 2nd and Will Church 3rd. And personally, I think Will Church had a better quality song than Ika Gold. Congratulations to Lord of the Lost for winning. I guessed it would. Although not my taste in music, their entry was well performed and well staged last night. Lord of the Lost will now represent Germany with the song Blood and Glitter at the Eurovision Song Contest at Liverpool in May. Hopefully it will be staged equally well, if not better, there. Of course, Germany doesn't have to worry about qualifying for one of the semi-finals because as a Big Five member, Germany is guaranteed a place in the Eurovision Song Contest Grand Final on 13th of May 2023. Commiserations to the other 7 artists. They too did well to get through ARD's internal selection to get to reach the German national final. In particular, commiserations to Patty Gurdy, Melodies of Hope, for finishing last. But to be fair, I thought Patty didn't give it her best vocally last night, especially on the choruses. That said, perhaps she was singing adequately in the type of hands-free microphone she used was in a position that could not fully pick up her voice. Do you think the right song won Unser Lied für Liverpool last night? If not, which song do you feel should have won and why? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you liked this video, remember to hit the like button, and if you're liking all my Eurovision videos, remember to subscribe to my channel. In the meantime, just be happy I'm not a twin. Goodbye, da boch, au revoir, auf Wiedersehen, adios, arrivederci, do widzenia, do pobacenia.